Hello everyone, today I have got for you a Sims 4 speed build. Just a little heads up, I actually made this, I want to say I don't know, several weeks ago at least. So there could actually be some surprises in here for me as well as you since you've never seen it before. Although I hope not too many surprises for myself because I have actually chosen today to recreate the flat that I live in. This is actually another sort of heads up, one of my first proper Sims builds, which I know it's like, why would you post that online? Like, for fun is why I want to post it online. But yeah, this is one of my sort of first ones. I got Sims back in like 2020, I think. Played it a fair bit, but then sort of dropped off, obviously, as the world sort of got back to doing, I was at uni and stuff. I was busy, so I didn't actually have all that much time to play The Sims. But just recently I sort of picked it up again. I've been watching like Sims on YouTube and stuff and just really getting into it. And just, I love recreating real things. Something in my brain just really like ticks on that. So that's what I've chosen to do as my sort of like first big from scratch build. I've obviously built a house to live in The Sims before, but I'm pretty sure I used like a shell or something like that. Like I don't remember like fully creating it from scratch. So I think maybe I used like a starter home and like decorated it. I can't really remember, but that's probably more likely. So as you can see here, I have actually got the stairs in. I was wondering if I had got to that point yet. Yes, I have. I've got the stairs in. As you may have seen, I fiddled about with that for a while. I did not realise how hard stairs are in The Sims. And very lucky, I live in a flat that has 2 floors, but in The Sims, that is not helpful. It's so hard to do the stairs. I actually had to look it up. There were quite a lot of things that I had to like search as I was going along, like, how do you do this on The Sims? And I was getting like unnecessarily stressed out about it. But yeah, that worked out in the end. And like I said, this is my real flat that I live in. So it's not necessarily the most exciting build. I'm just gonna really get that in early. This is not like some crazy thing, except for the walls are yellow. The walls are yellow in this. The walls aren't yellow in real life. As you can see, this is kind of the wall colour everywhere, apart from like in the bathroom, it's obviously like tile. It's not yellow, but it's kind of the closest colour I could get because all of the like beige walls that I saw were very like brown. They weren't really light enough, so actually this really pale yellow kind of gave the right look, especially for like brightness. So yeah, don't hate on me for like having yellow walls. I don't actually have, well, I would love to have actually yellow painted walls. That's like my dream. It's my favourite colour, but I wouldn't have that yellow. I'd have a much more offensive yellow in real life, I think. But yeah, also the outside is obviously going to look really, really weird because in real life I live in a flat, so it obviously isn't like this standalone block like how I'm making it here. I know in The Sims you can get apartments and stuff. I don't have that yet. I've not like delved into buying more packs and stuff. All I actually have is base game and cats and dogs, just so you know. So that is all that has been used to create my build. I keep gesturing over here. That's where my build is going on. That's where I'm like referencing. But yeah, so that's all I've got to work with. So if you're sort of screaming at your computer at any point going, why have you used that? If I sort of say like, I couldn't find something for this, I probably don't have it. I also tried really hard to try and get the understairs cupboard right. Turns out there's actually a small door in cats and dogs. Obviously it's for probably cats and dogs, but that's probably something that I'm going to add in later. I didn't realise until after I'd completely finished doing this and edited and all that. So I wasn't going to go back in just to add it in on this video, but I might go back and like do sort of like edits as I learn more, right? Might even make it into a video, who knows? But yeah, so you will see during this build, I am very, very picky, not picky, but very important to me that I get everything right because I'm trying to make it realistic. So like I said, it's not anything fun, crazy, like wacky. This is as true to where I live as I could possibly get. So you'll see that there's a lot of like beige carpet, beige walls. That's what it looks like. It's a pretty standard flat, right? Like it's not like crazy decorated. And I spend a lot, far too much time, one might say, doing the cupboards because we've got like quite a few cupboards. Like downstairs we've got our shoe cupboard, we've got like this sort of clutter cupboard. It's where we keep things like tools, the vacuum, like we've actually got some like extra chairs and stuff. Like it's a lot of stuff like that. I spent altogether too long making those correct and I'm not entirely sure why, apart from the fact that I know I'm just like so like, I feel like I'm detail oriented, but not in the rest of my life, just in Sims builds, you know? And I'm saying sort of builds because I have actually gone on from this to start creating my family home, which is taking way longer because it's like a 3-4 bedroom house with like a big garden. It's taking me forever, especially since I'm like relatively new to the game, right? But that will be up at some point. So if you like this very like baseline starter content, stick around, you know. But you'll see a lot in this video. I don't know actually how much of it I've cut out, but there is a lot of like switching out items, doing it once, doing it again, just for the realism, obviously, and because also you're not always going to have the exact item, right? So it's like, do I want the style, the color, the shape? So many things had to change. Like I think I just put in like bookcases in the living room, and I don't know why I used the ones I did originally because they're so like fancy. They've got like this ornate top. We just have like block IKEA like bookshelves, which I love. I like that they're simple, but like I don't know what possessed me in the living room, but there you go. I also, as you will see, I put a wardrobe in the living room. We actually have a wardrobe in the living room, but you'll see we have the same ones upstairs in the bedrooms, and by that point I realized if I overlap 2 of them, you can make it the exact right shape, because the wardrobe in the game is basically our exact wardrobes, except for the fact it's only 2 doors wide, ours are 3. And I realised if I just overlap, Sims can't use them. Did find that out, but it looks exactly right, and it barely glitches. You can barely even tell, and I was really quite pleased with that, to be honest with you. Yeah, so we're in the kitchen right now. It took me a while to like get the kitchen cabinets right. For some reason, I decided to do like these red ones. I thought it was the closest I could get. I don't know why I thought that would be the case, but these ones I've settled with are actually pretty accurate, to be honest, like pretty close. And as you'll see, like I've put these little decals on the walls. That's because in real life we have tiles. Don't ask me why I've not put tiles in. I realized that after I'd finished. I was like, I think at one point you even see me try and put tiles in and then just give up, I guess. I don't know. But I put these little decals because in real life we have those sort of like old-fashioned kind of tiles that have like nice little illustrations of like a fruit basket or something. I'm not entirely sure what's actually on them, because you know when something's just there, you never actually pay attention to the detail. But so I thought these little trees like sort of did that job, and I think it's just kind of cute, even though it looks pretty random in The Sims. But there you go. Yeah, you'll also see just like tiny things. Like I realized that you could flip doors. I don't know why I didn't think about that before, but I was suddenly like, oh, you could just flip the doors around. That makes so much sense. Yeah, but you'll see here, there is a lot of me, like I said, switching things out. And I end up maybe going for things that not everyone would have chosen. Like I've just put a rug down, and instead of just doing one rug or one that's like more the right size but not necessarily looking as right, like pattern-wise or something, I've gone for one that is basically exact. The texture on this rug looks exactly right. Like we have like one of those, it's like if you rub your hand on it one way, it goes like darker, lighter. That's exactly what that rug looks like to me. But it wasn't big enough. It just wasn't big enough. So I've just layered 2, and you can see the join. And I'm sure that would really annoy some people, but I really don't care. So I was really pleased with that, but I'm sure some people were like vomiting. Yeah, I also realised there's no windowsills. Obviously there's not. Like it makes so much sense, but I used the old noggin, came up with this myself. I'm sure it's not innovative in any way, but if you just like put some shelves under the windows, you've got windowsills. Obviously it doesn't quite work the same, because in real life, you know, there's a wall that like goes up to the windowsill and then in, if you get what I mean, but it's close enough, and I was pleased. So please don't upset me by saying you hate it. Okay, that being said, I would be very open to any sort of feedback or anything that you guys have to say, because I'm sure pretty much anyone watching this, if you've played The Sims, you probably know more than I do. I'm very much a beginner, very much just like starting out. And so if you see me do something and maybe I say like, and I didn't know how to do this or anything, if you've just got tips, tricks on building, hit me up. I'm so not intuitive in games. I really didn't grow up playing very many games. And if I did, it was like Animal Crossing, Nintendogs, like basically games where like everything's told to you, like how to do it. So I really don't have that thing in my brain that just sort of like tells me how to work out how a game works. So any tips, highly appreciated, because I've been scouring the internet, but honestly, I'm done reading. I'm done. There are actually a surprising amount of times during this build where I just got my own flat wrong. I keep saying my own flat. I don't like own this flat, but like I just kept getting it wrong. Like the stairs that I'm changing, I put stairs just straight up. The stairs turn, in real life, the stairs go up and turn. I forgot. How do you forget that? I lived there. I'm here all the time. I've been coming here for like 5 years. How even is that possible? The bathroom tiles, I originally put like tiles halfway and wall that like the top half. I genuinely thought that's what the bathroom looked like. I was probably sat in here, like this is my bedroom. The bathroom is there, like just behind me. And I was embarrassed to myself when I realized that I'd managed to forget what the tiles looked like. Really quite distressing to realize how stupid I was. But there you go. And oh, the bane of my existence, I just saw the curtains I put in. Please don't talk to me about it. I changed them, I do. I put in these really ugly blue curtains and they were so bad. I don't know why I at all settled for them. I find ones that are way more the right colour and way more not ugly and sized up. Apologies that you even had to see that for a moment, truly. But yeah, I think I just did it. I spent so long trying to figure out how to get a gap in the stairs, like where my stairs go up, turn, and then there's like a little banister with like a tiny gap, like a one tiny little gap, obviously not in real life, but I could not figure out. Every time I did it, it would keep deleting like the ground. I figured it out eventually. I think it's actually really easy, just maybe not so obvious to just figure out like out of the blue. But yeah, I figured it out, don't worry. Oh yeah, the desk in the the desk in the living room is funny to me. The living room in general is funny to me because, like I said, I'm going for realism. And I add just like clutter that's like ugly and doesn't need to be there, but it's there in real life. Like what I'm making right now. In real life, this weird thing hanging out of the wall is a bird cage. Not with a bird in it. But like it's a bird cage filled with like random stuff. There's like a fake skeleton in there and like some Halloween lights. It's not Halloween themed. Like there's also like a purple bow tie, which is why I was so happy I found like this purple bow that's there. Why did I add that in the build? Because I want to be realistic. I know that, but why? Why? It looks so ugly. It's so weird. It had to be there. So there you go. You also see that I'm trying to create this sort of corner shelf. So basically it's like it's what I just said. It's a shelf in a corner. But so it's like if you took the shelf out of the wall, it's like a triangle that like fits into the corner. I can't figure out how to create that in The Sims. I tried doing it on like a diagonal wall, then taking the wall away, and I could not figure it out. So if anyone has any tips for that, or if you actually know that there is one in the game and I just managed to miss it, then please do let me know. It's a floating shelf that goes in the corner, and I just cannot figure out how to do it myself. So yeah, if you know how to do that, please do let me know, because it really bugged me that instead we've got like two going into the corner rather than like the right shape. Why would it bug me? I don't know. It just does. So we're into the bedroom right now, and oh my gosh, probably the most exciting part of this build for me was that poster I just put up in the bedroom, which I think it's meant to be like Harry Potter. In real life, we have this poster, it's literally just over there, and it's from Majora's Mask, I think, but it's Link stood in the foreground, and he's got like the long pointy hat, and it's still magical. The poster looks exactly the same. If you even have to, I'll allow you to just rewind a second because I'm sure you're so interested to go and re-look at that poster that I just put on the wall. It's exactly the same. I know you don't know what my poster looks like, but it really, like, I saw it and I was like, no way. I was like, The Sims knew How did they know? How could they know? They won't know. Anyway, yeah, so here I am going on. I think I've just actually put in, yes, those doubled up cupboards. I know they glitch and I know the Sims can't use them, but I was so pleased with that. Don't know why. It's just because it looks so realistic. It's this cupboard right here, and it's just like very plain like cupboard doors, drawers at the bottom, 3 across, and it just looks the exact right way. Also, I deeply apologize for the non-reflective mirrors. I didn't realise, because I realised while I was building, I was like, it's weird that the mirrors aren't reflecting. I was like, maybe it's just a build mode thing, I don't know. And I actually stumbled across it by accident in the settings, that it's like something you have to turn on. But yeah, I deeply apologise because it looks so nasty. And I hope you guys just saw that mini gold bust I just put in front of the TV. In real life, we have a mini bust like this big of Lenin, I believe. It's not mine. It's never been explained to me why we have it. It's just there. And my life, when I found this like mini bust of a woman in gold, because size down, you can't even tell. It just looks perfect. Can you tell realism is important to me? Have I said it enough? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And really, that just shows what's important to me in this game. I will just say, actually, or kind of more ask, I've put a few things under the desk here. I put a little typewriter because in real life we have like this old sewing machine and it is like an antique typewriter, kind of worked, and like a little bag and things like that. My Sims can't sit at that desk. I did look at a little play test of this after I'd done it. My Sims can't sit there. So is that because there's just stuff under the desk and like they're just like, I don't fit? Because I'm very aware that the Sims are sort of like crazy like that. So if that is the case, that's a bit of a shame because like for me, the realism is, as I said, the most important part. But yeah, I think that might be it. But if you have any tips, like if there's any way that I could make it so they could sit there without taking the stuff from out underneath, or if it is that I just have to take it out, then like, fair enough. But just let me know because I'm very confused. And just at the moment, I'm just getting on to the second bedroom in the flat. Now, the bedroom I've already created is my bedroom, mine and my boyfriend's bedroom. And the next one is our flatmate's bedroom. So obviously it is much less detailed. Like I said, realism was really important to me up until the point where it came to like someone's privacy, obviously. So yeah, that's why this room is a bit like bare bones compared to like the rest of the house. Like given that you've literally just watched me like painstakingly create cupboards and then this room's kind of like a bit empty, that's why. It's just because I'm not about to like go in snooping in someone's room being like, where exactly is this on the desk and what does this do? I wasn't going to do that, obviously, especially not to then put on the internet. So yeah, that's why this room seems a bit empty, because it is a slightly bigger room and I also didn't add detail. So there you go. Speaking of size ratios in The Sims, I know it'll sort of come to me more as I play it more, but the way I had to like move everything, like I created the shell of this flat and then it took me so long to like start like actually getting the right, like the shapes of the rooms were right, but like everything was way too big. And I think, like I said, that's something that just comes with like knowing it and just sort of getting a feel for what fits and what needs to be there and what doesn't. But that was truly frustrating because like I'd start building and then be like, wait, there's way too much space, and then have to move everything, and it was kind of frustrating. But you live and you learn. Like I said, this is me basically creating my first ever proper build, so it was never gonna go smoothly from the start. But yeah, so just doing a bit of decorating by this point, as you can see, sort of adding the clutter in the kitchen. And again, another learning curve. I tried desperately to alt place the like tea maker thing in the kitchen. I didn't realise that because it's like something that you can interact with in the game, it has to be on the edge of the counter. I tried for so long. I was like, why isn't it working? And I was like trying all this stuff. It's just because of that. But that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. It's not even the right thing. Like in real life, we have a kettle. And I guess because this is an American game, they don't have that. It's like a tea maker thing. And I was like, that's incorrect. But it's fine. I'll be okay. So yeah, I'm just sort of into the finishing touches now. I'm sort of like moving bits around, like trying to create, like, just make sure I haven't missed anything. And then we came onto the outside. Now, like I said, I live in a flat block, so we don't have like an actual roof like this, but I kind of had to do something. I guess I've never really looked. I'm presuming it's a flat top. I'm actually kind of now embarrassed because I've never looked at the top of this building. Maybe I should. But yeah, I just created sort of like a simple little roof, like just nothing crazy, and then I just did the outside in this like horrendous like concrete beige thing. Just because like it doesn't matter really what the outside looks like, because it doesn't really matter what the outside of this place looks like to me, because I'm never paying attention to it, you know. But then I did actually realize the one bit of outside space that makes a difference to me is our balcony. It literally took me until the very end of the build to be like, oh, that's something I should probably include in this. So you'll see I'm just creating that now. It took me a while to get like the right wall like fence thing, because there's a lot of like glass paneling, but like ours is like opaque, like you can't see through. It's like a sort of more like private balcony, I guess you'd explain it as, but like that was something that really frustrated me, obviously, because like then I put in this stone fence wall thing, but it just looks way too like fancy and like ornate, and I was just like, that's not right. But like I said, like you see, I'm trying to get the right benches and the right like tables and things, but like I said previously, it's all about like what matters more, the colour or the style or the shape. Or I mean, the bench alone, I was trying to find like a blue wooden bench, because that's what we have. It doesn't exist in The Sims. How dare they? Oh, and yeah, I finally realised, I don't know if any of you realised previously, because I did when I was watching through the speed build, I left the underneath of the stairs in, because we have an underneath of the stairs, but where it turns round, it cut off the door underneath the stairs. Yeah, so I don't know if there's a way that you can only delete some of the under the stairs. I don't think there is though. So instead of putting in like the little door, I did these counters. Again, you can't now use the counters, but hey ho, there you go, that's the end. So now I'm just sort of giving a bit of an overview of the place, and that's really the end of the build. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I have another build coming up in the future, so if you want to see that, please do subscribe to my channel. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!